Hello? Are you there? Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Do you copy? Do you copy? Check. Can anyone hear this broadcast? Anybody hear me? I can provide food, shelter, water, clothing. Objects are also specific in that they will often be a stand-in for the person who originally owned them and who may be gone. You never hear someone say they think of their mother whenever they see a $10 bill. Melissa is the oldest of 5. For as long as she can remember, she was the parental child, taking care of not only of her siblings, but also of her mother, who was mentally ill and frequently hospitalized. Melissa's father tried his best to keep the family together, but he yelled at Melissa whenever she slipped up again, starting when she was 8. Melissa did Melissa did what she could to help her mother, whose rare smiles she treasured, but she was never close to her sibs. When she was older, though, and had no children of her own, she gave substantial gifts to her nieces and nephews. She knew she was compensating for the distance she kept from her siblings. But still, it made her feel good. When Melissa's mother died, a fight ensued. Melissa wanted the pearl necklace her mother had worn on festive occasions. Her sisters wanted it too. One brother, the executor, refused to give the necklace to anyone and placed it in a safe. The necklace had a little monetary value, but it reminded Melissa of the few good times with her mother. The sisters' stated position was that family jewelry should be passed down through the generations. Melissa had no children, therefore, she should not have the necklace. Melissa saw her family only on Christmas and Easter. Apart from these holidays, they were in contact. When Melissa hosted her father's 75th birthday party, she sat alone much of the evening, and none of her siblings thanked her. Melissa's therapist helped her mourn her mother and the childhood she never had. She saw her siblings living an ideal life with work and a family, whereas she had work with no social life. The therapist asked if she would be happy or completely cut off. Melissa resisted this drastic step, but sensed that in that low moment, she decided to stay connected, but that something had to change. The therapist never argued with Melissa about her wish to have the necklace. On the contrary, she encouraged her to be more assertive about it. They practiced what Melissa would say to her siblings, how she could explain what the necklace meant. She gathered her courage, spoke with her brother first, and then called a family meeting. She spoke firmly and from the heart. The family understood. Melissa would have the necklace as long as she agreed not to sell it or give it away. She agreed to pass it on to a niece in her will, from necklace to clock. You there, bro? Hello? Two brothers, Daniel and Daryl, stopped speaking because Daryl always wanted the family grandfather clock. Somehow, Daniel wound up with it when their parents' estate was settled. Years passed, but neither brother could let go of the issue. Daniel maintained he loved the clock, too, and that their parents obviously wanted him to have it, and Daryl held that Daniel always knew how much Daryl wanted it. Eventually, Daniel wanted to end the cutoff. An opportunity arose when they were both invited to a family wedding. After the ceremony, without speaking, Daniel took his brother by the hand and walked him over to his SUV. In the back was the grandfather clock. Reconciliation was immediate. Daniel relinquished the contested object, realizing that a relationship with his brother was more important than the clock. Sometimes, this kind of clarity is not easy for a client to reach. In the difficult cases, we assess the siblings' relationship and their friend. We assess the siblings' relationship and their relationship with their parents prior to the participating incident. Is this struggle another reflection of unspoken jealousy going back to childhood? Is each sibling aware of how the other feels? Does each know or understand the value the other places in these artifacts of their parents' lives? Can they discuss the meaning of these objects without flying off the handle? A therapist with whom we shared this case came up with other options. The siblings could take turns having the clock, thus both enjoying it. If they could not agree on who should have it, they could sell it or give it away. They could flip a coin, but then the underlying issues might not be dealt with and new struggles could be emerged. The point is that such disputes can often be resolved by helping the parties loosen up, brainstorm, and think outside the box. Ideally, we want to help each party understand the other's perspective. We want to help each party understand the other's perspective, and that by improving the relationship in this way, the clock and where it will go become less important. Beauty. Beauty may be a cultural construct, but its power seems to be universal. Something being beautiful bestows special status or perceived entry to a more privileged life. The corollary is that if one lacks beauty, one is left out, marginalized. Such was the experience of Josie. It took Josie a lifetime to understand why she felt unloved. She came to see through the lens of beauty. Until she was 4, she was mostly cared for by a loving nanny and led a charmed life. When the nanny left, Joyce was bereft. She grabbed a pair of scissors, stood in front of the mirror in her room, and cut off her long hair. Her mother, Roseanne, pregnant, self-absorbed, and unable to empathize, told friends and family in Josie's presence that Josie was an impossible child. The new baby, Maddie, was cute, with blonde curly hair. Rosalind called her my baby. Josie felt left out. Josie felt left out, or in the way. Josie, at age 13, showed to her therapist a family photo taken when Josie was 6. Off to the side, Josie looks unhappy, awkward, and alone. Maddie, leaning against her mother, is indeed adorable, bubbly, confident, and, given Roseanne's adoring look, and given Roseanne's adoring look, the apple of her mother's eye. To Josie, Maddie was pretty and had exquisite taste, attributes that mattered. Backhanded compliments and invidious comparisons were plentiful. Maddie was beautiful, Josie handsome. Maddie's hands were graceful, Josie's useful. Upon discovering an old report card, Roseanne was surprised because I didn't realize you got good grades, too. Finally, that's a nice outfit. I never knew you could put yourself together so well. As an adult, Josie had an epiphany. She dealt with her jealousy by internalizing Maddie, trying to be Maddie. Whether shopping for clothes, furniture, or an apartment, she would wonder, would Maddie approve? There's Maddie and Josie's hat. There was Maddie and Josie's hat, like it or not. After leaving home, the sisters kept in superficial touch. Then Maddie married Martin, a rising attorney with a huge inheritance. Maddie's status changed completely, further unbalancing the sisters' tenuous relationship. Now Maddie had traveled a country. Now Maddie had traveled a country mansion, expensive clothes, jewelry, spa treatments, a chauffeur, a private plane, plastic surgery, dental implants. So on while Josie would only grow old naturally. Despite her many professional accomplishments and good looks, when she was around Maddie, Josie always felt inferior. One day, Martin took Josie aside and berated her for being divorced, for being a terrible sister, the sole cause of Maddie's problems. At that time, Martin was the most powerful person in the family. Everyone, especially Roseanne, idolized him. No one knew Maddie was miserable in marriage, and that she would eventually divorce him.